Good morning vlog. Starting this video in a different way than usual, and this video is going to be different than usual. I want to focus this week on showing how I enjoy my life outside of my corporate job. So first, to introduce myself, hi, my name's Rebecca, I'm 26, I'm married, husband's name is Josh, we have 4 cats, you'll probably see them at some point in the video. I work for Wayfair. I work on our supplier claims team. So basically I work with suppliers to get our money back when something isn't shipped perfectly. What else? I go to school full time. I'm currently working towards my bachelor's degree in computer science with a focus in analytics. Right now, I am on a break from my work, taking a walk. I work fully remote, which is really great. And so that gives me the benefit of, during my breaks, enjoying days like this. So that'd be my one first tip, I suppose. Getting outside and breaking up your workday, whether it's a beautiful walk in the sun, that's sitting outside, maybe leaving your house to go work at a coffee shop. I always tell myself I'll do that one, and I never do, but basically just getting out of your usual space, giving yourself some time just to be with yourself instead of at your computer, like taking your lunch away from your computer, taking a break away from it, just fully getting away. Oh, I'll also mention the shirt I'm wearing today says disaster. Tip number 2 is keep it light. This is actually a response from one of our suppliers on like how we handled their tickets. Granted, I take money from suppliers, so they don't typically like the work I do because obviously no one likes to lose money. So this is a funny thing that someone commented on one of my tickets. So basically it's like, I could be upset by something like that, but will I be upset when they don't know me? Maybe I am a disaster, maybe I'm not. It's just something that can be comical, so keeping it light. Anyway, I'm going to probably walk about 2 miles, whatever I can do in about 30 minutes, maybe a mile and a half. And I'll check in with you guys later today or after work. Probably won't be documenting too much of my actual work because that's not what we're here for. We're here for how to enjoy life outside of that. And today is just a beautiful day for that. Another thing I like to do is give myself little pick-me-ups throughout the day. So I'm gonna go with my mental performance shot by Magic Mind. So I mentioned this in a couple previous videos, but definitely love this as a pick-me-up for my day. Oh, let me take another this one. It's all science-backed, doctor validated. They also do 100% refunds, so definitely check that out. I also have a discount code, so you can check out my description or use RB50 for 20% off a subscription or 20% off a one-time purchase. And not only is this going to give me the mental perks of like giving myself a little treat, but then I also get the physical benefits. I'm less stressed, more focused. So definitely not required to try this, but would definitely recommend it. Alrighty, let's get back to my workday. Another way to enjoy life outside of corporate is to have goals outside of your job. So as important as it is to have goals surrounding your career, like hence why I'm going to school, it's also important to have goals in your personal life. So if you can't tell by my silly little shirt or rattling in the back of the car, I'm going to golf. I have a lot of personal goals, some big, some small, but some goals I'm working through now are A, training for my half marathon in October. After that, probably training for a marathon. After that, probably never running again. But for now, training for a half marathon and then golfing. I just started taking golf lessons over last winter and have been really enjoying it. Right now I'm headed to the driving range to get some practice swings in. I don't need to be great. I don't need to be good even. I just want to try my best. And if I'm okay, that's okay with me. So definitely having goals outside of your career that you care enough about to actually dedicate the time to. But that's one thing if you say, oh, I have a goal to, I don't even know what. Maybe you want to golf too, but then you don't dedicate the time to it. That's not going to work. You need to find something that you can actually want to and have the time to dedicate. So with that being said, let's hit some balls at the range. Beyond the goal of running my half marathon and full marathon at some point, I also just think that physically moving your body can help so much separate yourself from your work, and just putting yourself back into your body, feeling your muscles, whether that's running like it is for me or weightlifting, just doing anything to move your body is really going to help separate that mental load and put it back into your body. I like to think about it as taking my mental frustrations and making them physical. If you know me, you know that I'm 5 times out of 7 making dinner at home. And as much as I would love to go out, the times I'm not, staying home and romanticizing the making dinner process is so important. I do end my workday around 2:30, so this isn't really the case anymore. But when I used to end work closer to like 5 o'clock dinner time-ish, or even around like 3, and then I would go to the gym after, it was so nice to use making dinner as the turn off switch. So basically end my workday and then I would go to the gym, or I would just start making dinner. And having that mental separation and the time it takes to make a meal between work and resting for the rest of the day helps so much with that mental disconnect. I'm also lucky enough that I don't really have an issue with turning off work. My work is not so important that I think about it when I'm not working. Like, as much as I talk about work in my vlogs, you might think otherwise, but I literally, the second I clock out is the second I stop thinking about my work. Anyway, definitely recommend finding one of your switches. So whether that's going to the gym as your break, basically, from work to your relaxing home time, or maybe going out and getting a beer by yourself, or like going to a cafe, getting a drink with a friend, and then calling that your separation, whatever it is, like making dinner at home. Find what works for you and have something to do in between your work and your rest as that separation. So tonight I'm making a rice bowl, one of my stereotypical like meals I probably made every week for the past few years, but wicked easy. Just chopped up cucumber, going to make some rice as you just saw, cook up some ground beef, and that's about it. So I'm going to turn my mind off a bit, make this, and I'll check in with you guys later with my next tip. As hard as this next one might be, I would really recommend at least trying, whether this is doing something by yourself or getting a group of friends together and doing something all together. This day I went to a sunset and food truck event. So ate some oysters, drank a seltzer, hung out with my girlfriends. It was just such a good night. And having a group of friends that talk about more than just work is so important. So as much as I love hanging out with my coworkers, I also love having friends outside of that space that we can talk about anything else, because the work doesn't matter. So really recommend, and whether this is at home or out at an event like we did, either way, just getting out of the house and being with a group of girls is crucial. Alrighty, this next tip is gonna sound cliche and maybe weird to say, but volunteering your time and getting out of your own head, getting out of your body, getting out of your work is crucial. So I volunteer a couple times a year. As probably with most people, you try to do as much as you can, and I find it's easier to like donate monetarily instead of volunteering my time. But when I can and I have the time, I really love doing so. My work has made this really easy to volunteer more frequently. Today I'm actually doing something through Generous, Jenr. I don't know exactly how they work. I'm not the facilitator of this thing, but this is the second or third time I volunteered through them, and it's just a program that basically I sign up for, but my company volunteers has the program, and it's a video chat, and so we just get together on a Zoom and we're making something for another group of people. So in today's activity, we're journal painting for LGBTQIA plus youth. So exciting stuff, and it takes me out of my own head, gives back to someone else. And if you're a corporate company or you work at a corporate company, maybe look into this for your company. Oh my God, how many times can I say company? But it's one of those things that might seem small, but it makes a big impact, especially for those in need. And it's Pride Month, happy June. As a bi woman, I feel pretty privileged in the life that I have, especially the fact that I end up in a straight relationship, considering that I'm a woman married to a man. But that doesn't mean that I cannot still be bi. I don't know. I have like this weird internal thing about that, but that's my own thing I need to work out, I suppose. Anyway, we're not going into that. We're talking about volunteering. So today's activity, we are painting journals, like I mentioned. So I've already kind of started. We also made a bookmark. So just put some little quotes on there. For the journal painting, we have a little drawing. They also send all the materials in this generous kit. So it's like, they give you what you're doing. You're not like making something up on your own. So they send paints, they send a palette. They even send back, I'm not gonna show the front of this, but they send back a bag in the shipping label, so you can just send it back already made and don't have to worry about like paying for postage or anything like that. So it's definitely a really cool program. And so I do this once a year now with my corporate company. I also volunteer at the Humane Society. I also am this year trying to volunteer more for like runs and activities I want to do. So later on this month, actually, I will probably end up vlogging it, but I'm volunteering at a mud run. It's called the Muddy Princess. I'm really excited about it. But my girlfriends and I are going to volunteer. And then there's always perks to volunteering beyond like the feel good that you get and the benefiting of the other people. So like in this case, for the run, I'm going to volunteer my time, but then I get to run for free. But then it's also supporting the program itself. So all this to say, volunteering your time is crucial to getting out of your head and getting out of the corporate mindset. Even though this is with my corporate company, doing this kind of takes me away from it, if that makes sense. So I'm going to dive into this. I'm gonna put you guys on the time lapse while I get working on this, and I'll talk to you guys later. Another fun thing about these generous events is that it's as a community with my coworkers. So I'm learning about them in a way that I wouldn't have had the opportunity before, meeting new people that I don't work with, that just work with the company. And just a good way to also disconnect from work while still being clocked in and on the schedule. Alrighty, before I end my work week, I'll talk about my last tip. And that would be find something that can make your workday go by quicker. So if you can't tell from this, or this, I love me my walking treadmill. If you watched any of my content, you would have seen me walking for hours on end during my work days. And if you're up to date as well, you would have known that I have killed 2 of my under desk treadmills. One of them can be fixed with a replacement part, but I waited a month for the part to ship from China, and it's either lost or not coming, I'm not quite sure. But regardless, I ordered myself a new one. So very exciting stuff. This is just going to be, it's about the same as the previous one I had. Nice and skinny, going underneath the desk here so I can walk while I work. So like I was saying, finding something that's going to make your day go by quicker is crucial to not enjoying your corporate workday, but helping it. I mean, maybe, yeah. I mean, I do enjoy my work. It's really easy. But having something like this that can make the time go by even quicker is really great. I love it. I'm actually excited about this one. This one has an incline, which my other one did not have before. So anyway, I don't need to go into the details of my new desk treadmill. Come back, subscribe, check out my next vlog if you want to see me talking more about this. But regardless, find something that can make your day go by quick. Maybe for you, that's listening to an audiobook. Maybe that's having music on. Maybe it's layering your workday so you take your break earlier in the day, or maybe that's later in the day. You got to find, I've done my job now for 5 years almost, so I've trained my body to know what's going to work for me and what doesn't. So do some trial and error, figure it out what's going to work for you. In my case, that's going to be the desk treadmill for sure. But I think that's going to be it for this video. I know it's on the shorter side, but I hope some of these tips helped. Anything helped. I enjoyed making this. This is not my usual type of content. but definitely enjoy it. And thanks again to Magic Man for working with me on this video. You can check out the link in the description. That's magicmind.com/RB50, or you can use RB50 for 50% off your subscription or 20% off a one-time purchase. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment down below. I'll talk to you guys next Monday.